Hello folks, and welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Finally I'm back, not at 100% yet. It will take hopefully over this weekend. I will be back in all strength, but at the moment really hard, and to be honest, was not expected to be that hard. However, it was an exciting fight against a virus that it seems I won. But, well, my body is still saying, keep calm in sports, so we should do it. So I'm not going to provide here a monster analysis today. I would like to make my initial comment as I announced yesterday. I will give you, talk a little bit what the on-chain data is indicating at the moment. And nothing have changed. I have said even weeks ago, the price could go to 50k. It will not change my position because my position has, it's something I have said. I can't say that when it starts, I can cash out. So I did it already. And I don't care if the price is going to moon. And we will talk about that later on because it's obvious what's happening there with Tether and, well, but you know my position about Tether as well, so that's not a secret at all. I don't like it. I like Bitcoin, but in my opinion, Tether and Bitcoin are not compatible. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to combine both. But at the moment, Bitcoin's food is Tether. And that, well, however, we will talk a little bit about what's happening at the moment with the banking sector and all the streams happening at the moment, also with some stupid, for example, yesterday, JPM CEO publishing to their stake and shareholders a message where I would say, holy shit, what are you doing here? I mean, what's the game? What's the game? To be better than communist China? I mean, better means to be worse than they are. And I mean, if you like communism and you live in China, then it's absolutely fine. But if you are someone that believes in democracy and free speech and, what I do with my work, and I'm working hard to have a nice income and to own a house, a car, and maybe to make twice vacation, something I I didn't do since 4 years now. Yeah, 4 or 5 years now. However, that's for me principles, fundamentals. And what he was saying, just, to fight the climate change, something I'm not going to discuss here if it exists or not exists. Everything is about statistics, and we know about statistics, what it means. And usually, I'm not going to repeat a quote, but something like, if you didn't create these statistics, it's better you don't believe it. But however, that's another chapter. I'm not going to talk about that today. But the main argument right now is it's possible to reduce your rights to save our planet. That's the main message. What they are not telling you is, while we are, of course, preparing a war where we bombed nations just before, where we are doing things that's absolutely bad for the environment, but hey, that's we. It's not you. For you, we need to save the planet. For us, everything is fine. And this double standard was in the past sometimes that people hide it. They didn't read in public. They said it between, in little groups, having a dinner, laughing and making some jokes. But now it seems absolutely okay and cool to have a double standard and to publish it and to say, that's it. I don't care about I don't care about your rights. That I'm investing in arms, that I'm investing in stuff that, of course, it's not going to save our planet. That's something we don't need to talk about that because it's not in my interest. But it's possible that we need to seize your property to save the planet. Maybe to arrest you to save the planet. Is that maybe also part of an agenda? And the question is, why is that happening? I mean, historically it makes sense because that's what always happened when our civilization reached its highlight. Wealthy people, a nice middle class, a white middle class, not white, wide, just to make it clear. And well, now things are changing. Well, it's not now. It's a process that it's taking a while. And you remember how many times I have talked about turbo capitalism. Something I call turbo capitalism mean to make, and you don't care about any collateral effects as soon they are not going to take a hit to yourself, but to others. So that's something that's fine. That's why we call it collateral effect, right? So, but yeah, that's unfortunately what's happening right now. Is that they used, if we talk about central bankers, they used the opportunity to make this kind of big profit in short term. And they taste blood and they want more. That's like I have said, just, if you are a drug addict and you need your next shot, you will do everything for that. You will weaponize everything. And we know the desperate addict that's using his family, his best friends, everyone, lying and doing everything to get money for his next shot. It's absolutely not different what we see here. It's absolutely not different. It's exactly the same. And they don't care about the collateral effect. But it seems at the same time they have also an agenda. Who is them or their? I'm not going to call any names. I mean, some people say the Great Reset by Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. Some others say, I don't know. I think also historically that happens, that always a part of group of people, politicians, wealthy people, they always thought they are better than the masses. And they need them, but at the same time they fight them. I think that's exactly the same case right now. Nothing has changed. Not everything repeats itself. But the patterns, at least historically, if we take a look of the last 2000 years, it seems, it's part of our nature, human nature, that we are like we are, that we are greedy and we want even more than that what we have. And usually I'm some person that said to be motivated to achieve higher goals, that's something beautiful. That's a motivation. And that's good because that means progress. But depends how you achieve these goals. If that means you need to kill people for that, I'm going to be your biggest enemy. If you can do that without any kind of collateral effects, bad for other people, then I'm fine. And I will even support you. But that's the thing. And that's, I think, the key. We know that, and now we are going more hitting topic about the global market and what's happening with central banks and with banks in general. And why the mainstream is talking a little bit about that, but not bringing any panic and everything is fine. It's like crypto, for example. You know how much crap happened and how many red flags, because it's not, as mentioned in the past, it's not a problem of crypto itself. It's not a problem of the technology or maybe of the assets, but those who are controlling it. Because they are exactly the same who are demanding, like the CEO of JP Morgan, well, maybe we need to seize your property in the next years just to save your planet. That's sad to say, but yeah, maybe that's required. I guess he's not, of course, talking about the properties of Bill Gates, not his own, or of his family, or of the Bidens, or of many others, but of yours and mine and of my neighbor, I guess, as well, and so on and so forth. Double standard, we know that. I don't like it, but whatever. So the problem started few years ago, or better, the whole problem started with central bankers. So many Bitcoin maxis are yelling, Bitcoin is better because central bankers did a very bad job. Yes and no. I would even say that's completely wrong, because Bitcoin is not just one Bitcoin. That's the problem. That should be the goal, but it's not. Bitcoin needs Tether. That's the big problem. That's at least what we can see right now in the charts and when we check the market capitalization of Tether, for example. But it seems that everything is working very well, like they planned it. Because what we are seeing is that more and more the trust is shifting out from the governments to more to private companies. What is Tether? Is that a company controlled by the people? No. By some people, yes. Yes. By some people with very, very strange connections. Yeah. Who cares? No one. Or at least I care, but many don't care. However, but the same is not only happening to crypto. And that's the problem. And we could say, well, it's crypto. Who cares? Crypto is not that big. No, but the problem happens in other sectors as well. The traditional markets, the banking sector. I mean, they are doing business as usual. And I have told you, they will do it until the last day. When everything is crashing, then they will react. And they will say, we didn't forecast that. We thought it wasn't looking great, but wow. I'm sorry. It was your money. I'm sorry. And we hope the government will bail us out or something. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because everything what we did, and even the governments, we can discuss, and I've mentioned my relationship between Inspo and the governments. I don't agree my government in Germany. I don't like them. In my opinion, they are clowns. But it's my duty to convince others and to elect a different government, because that's the principle of democracy. Now we can talk, of course, if democracy, what we think and what we have is the same. No, of course not. The industry have other tools, a lot of money, lobbyism, for example. It's in my opinion. Even I would like to have also a counterpart, but the cancer of our democracy. Because they can feed our politicians with travels, so trips to Thailand or whatever, 5-star, all inclusive. And of course, if you do what I say, or you are a nice supporter of my agenda, I can imagine to hire you as my next executive, having a nice yearly income of millions. It wouldn't be the first time that they happened, not only in Germany, but also in Spain and in other countries and nations. So the whole problem, as you see, is much bigger than just to say, oh, the banking sector is crap because they are stupid and they are gamblers. No, it's just bigger. I was watching, for example, just a few days ago, even he was, I would say, to 90% repeating what I have said over month and month, but it was also interesting to hear it from someone else. George shared this video with me, two guys talking about the situation right now and why they think that it's over. It's game over. And historically, when we went that far, the next consequence is war. Because the war is like a great reset. You can bomb everything to the ground and rebuild everything like you want. Like a game. When you are game over and you press restart and everything starts from zero. But of course, we are talking about lives. We are talking about, our destination or destiny, better destiny, because it will have an effect to ourselves, but to our whole environment. And instead of to do something to bring our voice to the streets or to send an email to the parliament, or we're saying, well, it is what it is. I prefer to buy, for example, Bitcoin, or maybe I can have the next jam and make 3,000, 4,000% profit short term. You can try. In my opinion, you will fail. You can try, maybe short term you can have success, but it's not going to work for a long time, because this money what you will have in your hands, it will be worthless then later on. So the key here is to have something like the safe haven. Some say that's Bitcoin, some others say it's gold, whatever. But clear is, everything has started with the greedy our nature, factor of the people. Those who receive cheap money by central bankers, those who think they are, like traders and managing a portfolio, but they are absolutely very, very bad traders and even, worse, worse portfolio managers. But and using every single argument to say, well, but we need to do it. No, that's wrong. And on the other side, governments who are closing their eyes and they say, well, as long as everyone is happy, even short term, even we know we are accelerating and hitting a huge wall and we will die, everyone in this car, but right now we can celebrate, hear the music very loud and be happy. Short-term thinking. Short-term thinking works for short-term, not mid and not long-term. And that's a big problem. Mainstream media is not talking and showing you the truth. The banking sector is looking extremely weak. And I have mentioned, we have a lot of red flags, not only in crypto, but a lot of red flags. As soon one collapse, that's the first domino stone and the others will follow. And no central bank, no government will stop that because it's impossible to stop that. If you see the ratio of the debts of our governments, it doesn't matter what government you take a look, at least in the Western, if you take a look, you say, what the fuck? Yeah, it's just money we don't have, we spend it. Money we don't have, we spend it. But in what? In education? In health? In the health sector? No. In bailing out banks, in supporting wars, in rearming, in making strange things with the money. I don't want to go too far today. And so it's obvious that this story has to end as it did in the last 2 years over and over again when a cycle ended. A cycle means we had let us say an empire that collapsed. And in the last 100 years, the US was an empire. And now they see that other countries like China and Russia are coming up. And they are not nice anymore. They are ready to have an open confrontation. I have told you about US dollar versus gold. And, when it comes to weaponize, everything is possible. Like we see that they weaponize the mainstream media. They are not showing the truth about what is happening in the global market, what is happening to the banking sector in general. Yeah, sometimes they are saying, well, it doesn't look great. No, it doesn't look great. That's wrong. It's a nightmare. And many are just closing ears, eyes, and mouth and saying, please, 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 let me wake up and everything looks different, but it will not. Unfortunately, it will not. And to see people now and to make some statements like you have to reduce your rights to save the planet. and then you read more in detail what they are expecting. I mean, sometimes it matches very well to any other agenda we know from Klaus and others, for example, but they are telling us that no, without any problem, without to have a mainstream, what the fuck? Are you crazy? You deserve Yale. No. It's fine. It's fine to say that. It's fine to say that we need to reduce our rights. I guess something like free speech and to have your own property, your own car. I mean, in Germany, I know my car has its time counted. But because, in Europe 2035, we need to drive EVs. It's not possible to have gas cars anymore. Of course not. Because we need to save our planet. Because the statistics are showing us that the planet is looking extremely bad because of us. Not because of all the wars that, they initiated, bombing, killing people, and no. Or the whole production, manufacturing, what they did, that was great because they were doing a lot of profit. But now everything is a problem. Now after they did its deal, now it's a big problem. And we need to work together to reduce our expectations and our quality of life to save the planet. Together, of course. Together means we, not them. And them, this in particular group of people that historically always existed that think they are something special, like elites, and we are just blue collar, we can do it. That's a big problem, and that will not have a good end. It will not have a good end. Private equity looking extremely weak. Shadow banks in general. I mean, the whole real estate industry, not only in the US, looking extremely bad. Now we can say, that's because the central bankers. The central bankers were the problem. I'm fine with that. But how to fix it? Why is the inflation maintaining up? Why it's not declining? Why is the central bank, while rising interest rates, on the same time opening a back door to keep pumping liquidity to the banks? Of course, to save them, to save us, because we need them. That's another thing we can talk about that. Why we are in the infrastructure that we have today. Was that the same 40 years ago? No, it wasn't. But of course, we gave everything to private companies. Every company that was part of, of the public was sold because it was not profitable. And profit is the key. So we sold them for sometimes just few bucks. And now these companies are partly critical infrastructure. And we need them. They are private, but in case of something happens to them, of course we need to help them. With tax money. With your money. Of course. And that's what we have. And I guess that's not the end. It will go forward and forward and forward. And all these markets at one day, and I'm not talking about in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I'm really talking about months, maybe until 2025. Many economists also are indicating 2025 is going to be 2024, but 2025 is going to be a very hard year or very hard years. But yeah, and unfortunately, I know that many of you flip to bullish, and it's absolutely fine, because I mean, how can I say to someone, hey, don't trade crypto, don't trade on traditional markets, because this guy just need to check the chart and say, are you stupid? Why should I miss this opportunity? So yeah, I can just shut up and say, yeah, you're fine. I just can decide for myself and say, I'm not going to touch that. We have still assets. Many forgot them. But we still have assets out there that not only can protect your money, but also bringing you more gain. That's maybe something we need to talk about later on in a different analysis and exchange some ideas sometimes. But, I cashed out in crypto. I'm not investing in any traditional market right now related to, equities, commodities, and so on and so forth. Even that was part of my plan. I'm investing my money in different assets at the moment. That was also historically always a good one. And some numbers are confirming me, or confirming at least my expectations. Anyway, I would be extremely careful. I would change a little bit my life and the expectations for the next years. It's sad to see that we can't openly talk about what's happening. I'm talking about the mainstream media right now. But also the mainstream media is a private company. They are private companies. Who are their shareholders? And what is the interest of them? Who is buying Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin? And who has the interest? Who is selling? Why is no one talking about that? We will talk about that the coming week. I will try to prepare a series of where we start to talk how everything started, how it should go, and the most important part is going not to be what we expect, how it's going to end, but what will happen next. What will be the next cycle? Because that's where we will go and make money. This analysis, or Inspo in general, is not here to make any political podcast, to tell you if you should vote Republicans or Democrats or Greens or whatever. I don't care. We shouldn't. Politics is part of an economy, and it's have a big impact also to the markets, and that's why we are talking about. And we will go forward and further how our future could look like. Of course, we need to talk about different scenarios. US dollar versus gold. What happens if the US dollar would collapse? What would happen with gold? And what would happen with crypto? Will we have a soft transition, or nothing will happen? That's something we need to talk, because only then we will see opportunities to make money in the next 10, 15 years. And yes, we need to talk about 10, 15 years, because something that, in my opinion, is part of the next years is a global war. And that will take time. That's nothing that You have war today, and 2 weeks later, everything is over. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. So, you know, I need to prepare some stuff, and we will talk about that. I will try to generate some interaction with you so we can exchange a little bit. I need to rethink a little bit about that, how to do it, but we will do it. However, let us go forward and talk about the crypto market. Just check some on-chain data, what is happening there, and we will see us or hear us Monday again with Inspo's initial comment. And we will talk more in detail and check some data, some figures, and and so on and so forth. Let us go forward. So the weights ratio, well, nothing happened. So the weights ratio went up, it declined, the price went up, only up. That's the only thing that's doing. It's the first time I have seen such a weights ratio that pushed up so hard, but it didn't have any kind of effect to the price. Well, maybe they absorbed everything here. I really don't know, but it's wow. I mean, from here, that was 17K, only up, pushing. And if we take a look to the Tether's market cap, I mean, what should I say, right? I mean, from February 2020, from 4 billion to 83 billion, then from 83 down to 65, and now we are back almost at 81 billions. It's just, I mean, 81 billions. That sounds like a toast, a sandwich, or whatever, but it's 80 billion US dollars. 80,000 million US dollars. That's really incredible. And and the market is doing what Tether's market cap is doing, and well, it is what it is. So I would say they invalidated the weights ratio in that case. Absolutely, it's not doing anything anymore. It doesn't matter if they push up, and as mentioned just once, it seems it's pure distribution, and yeah, but it is what it is. It is really what it is. If we take a look to the 1 hour time frame, nothing have changed. Really, absolutely nothing have changed. You can see bigger outflows. Yeah, some inflows coming in, but then they absorb everything. And while on centralized exchanges, the stablecoin supply is reducing, but it's almost always they don't want to touch the 90 where it's critical. Always they push up to, for example, 88 to distribute, and then they let the price go up once again. And that's what they are doing over and over and over again. So yeah, it is what it is. They can keep doing it for a while, even go to 100K if they want, as long no one wants to sell back, or maybe someone needs a break, even point where they can, where they say, okay, now it's time to sell, that's the price I need. I really don't know, but at least weights ratio at the moment, if I take a look here, it's just crazy. It's just, it looks so controlled, I never have seen just before. It's just crazy. So let us go forward. Yeah, also here, for example, if we take a look here, we see that, well, nothing have changed, always reacting. We had here, it seems, a big outflow, but at the same time, we received then even more inflow in stablecoins. The inflows are okay. So the biggest was here, for example, 1,550 bitcoins in 1 hour. But as mentioned, they absorb everything. They said, so someone big is selling and someone big or retail, but I don't think that retail can buy and synchronize itself in such case that they say, oh, let us now take every Bitcoin out of the centralized exchange we bought recently. Doesn't make sense. So it seems we have big guys selling, but big guys buying even more. Interesting, really interesting, but I'm really speechless. However, that's what's happening. We can, we know that Tether's market cap is rising and rising and rising. So the question is, who is doing it? Is that really, our centralized exchanges, their shareholders, or are they working together to push out the market? I don't know. I really don't know. However, let us go forward. So if we take a look here, for example, we can see that this week we received 11,600 bitcoins more than outflows. So that's the net flow, the monthly one for this month and the last 2 weeks, 17,000. And we can see also here the premium live, the daily, it's red. I mean, the last time we have seen a green bar, that was in the beginning of January, and since then it's always red. Of course, here it looks then a little bit different, because we have the premium live 30 days. Then we have the both are real time always. We have received here, for example, a lot of bitcoins as well. And yeah, the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges, it maintains very high, but nothing is happening. It's just, once again, the big question is, what should trigger the, sell off? Are they, maybe it's just really algorithm, or maybe they're checking the behavior of retail. As soon as they see retailers buying, everything is fine, we can push up more. I really don't have any clue. The environment I'm seeing at the moment, now people would say, well, we have that every single cycle. Forget the cycles. Don't talk with me about cycles. Forget that. Okay? Forget any kind of patterns, because it doesn't make any sense. The whole environment of this market have changed. Everything. So it's not going to work with cycles. But some people have big interest to push up, and making a big bet on Bitcoin, on crypto in general, spending billions and billions and billions. And the question is, why? And who? That would be the most interesting thing. Is that something related to the geopolitical issues? Is that maybe China and Russia? Or is, I don't know. I really don't know. The US government looks very bearish on crypto at the moment. But yeah, I mean, the recent tweet by Paolo saying just nice try, bringing some fake news against, that was from New York. I don't know what New York, I missed that, but defending a little bit El Salvador. I mean, to be honest, El Salvador is now owned by Tether. I mean, they are even putting people, big Tether fans, in a ministry. That's something where I would say that's that's a nation. People voted their government for something, and the government is just now placing some puppets in the ministries that supports the big revolution against the Western states, like for example the US. I would love to know what is behind. I just see the on-chain data and I don't have any clue how that's here possible. To have such a balance of bitcoins, because that's what happened in the past. And what changed? What changed since then? Only that crypto looks more, on the paper, more weak, but the price is going up more and more and more. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So if we take a look here, we just see that the funding rate was declining, up, down, up, and more down. And well, open interest maintaining relatively good, declined a little bit, and the leverage ratio almost doing exactly the same, declined, pushed up, declined more, and it's declining at the moment. So the correlation between open interest and leverage is not anymore the same like we had in the past. And yeah, we need to see. We have seen all these data so many times and it was looking so bearish, and then they pushed up with another billion printed by Tether. Just that's it. We can see that for example here we received 12,000 bitcoins to derivative exchanges, and afterwards we can see that's almost negative. No one knows if those 12,000 is to go long or to hedge, or I don't know. I really don't know. If we take a look here, we can see that it's almost also once again very negative. Only in sequences we are receiving more stablecoin to derivative exchanges. Otherwise, it's more cashing out and taking out the money from the derivative exchanges. If we take a look here, we can see that the open interest is pushing up. The leverage ratio, as indicated, not following here, and the funding rate pushing up more. So since mid of December, this trend is unbreaked. So if we take a look, it's always pushing up, indicating more longs, more longs are demanded. Yesterday we had 360 Bitcoin in shorts liquidated and 220 in longs liquidated, so absolutely nothing. If we go to blockchain whispers, I didn't check them for a while. We see here, for example, that we have a 47 to 53% in favor of shorts and 42 to 58 related to Ethereum in favor of shorts as well. On Bitfinex, of course, 2.8 billion versus 15 million. It's just, well, what should I say? Bitfinex was one of the main, and that's also very interesting because Bitfinex is one of the biggest demander right now of Tether, while their volume is not big. I don't know what they do with all these tethers, to be honest, but well, I get it. That's the feed of their algos that they use in different exchanges to drive the market, but that's another topic. If we go to the Kingfisher right now, we can see Later. Give me the last. No. Oh no, 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 not high leverage. All leverage. Okay. And all leverage 300 millions. The biggest part would be at 41 SEM. That's a very old one. And related to longs, we would have a 28, for example, here a big liquidation cluster. But yeah, nothing have changed. Okay, let us take a look. Of course, high leverage shorts until 23,200 and between 30,100 and 30,000. That would be, for example, oh, I see they are once again, and here it comes. That's so crazy what they are doing. Once again, pushing up, and that's just wow. However, so indicating usually they should liquidate everything back to 31 250. Let us go forward. So if we take a look here, we see that the gamma is indicating here 32,000 as the next stage on the red side. So the bears not doing anything, absolutely anything. They would love to see 27k, but that's it. So obviously it's indicating 32k should be the next step. Let distribute, get some money, and push up once again. Today, Friday, of course, the GAX was almost at 400,000. It declined after the expiration today, and it's still above of 200,000. But who cares? Because even the GAX is not working anymore. Everything is invalidated. Everything that works for a long time, everything invalidated, because, well, in my opinion, it's just a market controlled by few who are attracting retail, and retail just ignoring everything and saying yeah, moon next. Okay. It's for me really hard to give you counter arguments now, because they are pushing more. Well, then it is what it is. But still, for me, not attracting me at all to send money there, to be honest. You know why. I have mentioned that so many times. Bull call spread, bear diagonal spread with calls, bull diagonal spread with calls, and bear call spread. That should be the four we are going to check, and I guess everything will look very bullish. You remember they were making bets to see until end of April 25k, and then afterwards go to 40k. We didn't even visit 27k. I mean, that's the thing of options, it's really hard to say they are really, really good. And it's nice to see what they are trading, but they have other opportunities to adapt to the market, and we wouldn't see that. So let us go forward. So bull call spread, as the name almost is indicating, it's bullish. If you take a look here to the premium, okay, it's here, premium something big, and indicating 32 to 34, 30 to 32. So 32 should be the next. And of course, now some people are also now trading 60k, and I mean, that's a big one for end of September to see again 45 to 60k, 45 60k, 45 60k, and that's really big. If you check here, and premium always indicating the same 32 38, but almost 45.60, and so on and so forth. So indicating here once again that that's the first step. We did the first step. The second step is now indicating extreme bullish, hitting for between 45 to 60k end of September. Okay. Beer diagonal spread with calls. If we take a look here, now we have here delta gamma. I mean, yeah, that's nice, but we don't need that. 36 positions here. It seems that's the biggest with oh no, here we have here some biggest, but also here it's obviously everything is bullish. 35.33, 45.29. Indicating they would love to see a price until end of April below 33k or end of May below 29k, but that's it. I mean, it's big, but that's not bearish. You know, that's the biggest one, indicating until end of April to see a price below 33k. It's bullish. So also even the bearish strategies are bullish. Bull diagonal spread with calls. If we take a look here, how many? Oh, 44. My God, what's the biggest here in premium? Okay, indicating they would love to see until end of April 21st a price above of 27.5. Okay, yeah, why not? I mean, of course, we are above of 27.5. However, what is here, is that big? No, it's not. 36k, that's almost retail, so nothing big. That's the biggest here. So even here, I would say it's strange to see such a strategy where, you know, I mean, it's easy money. I guess, yeah, it's just short term, and it was, I guess, a nice opportunity. So not indicating anything. Beer call spread. Let me check the beer call spread and please the trades. Also here 46 positions. And what is the biggest here? We have here, for example, they are indicating to see a price below 32k until end of the year. So it's nice, but absolutely not useful to us right now. Yeah, to see a price below 40k until end of September. I mean, that's extremely bullish. Everything is bullish. Even the bearish strategies are bullish. Everything is bullish right now. So it looks like bull run, and everything is fantastic. And I was wrong, and all these guys I blocked just before were absolutely right. And yeah, buy. If you want, buy. I'm really speechless, but it's, you know, I'm not speechless to see what they are doing, yes, I'm speechless seeing what they are doing in this situation, and what the global economy and in special, in particular, the crypto market is. But it's fine. It is. Why not? I mean, I'm trading since 2020 crypto, and it wasn't absolutely easy to say that's it for me. But yeah, unfortunately, that was the point. I don't trust this market anymore, and a market only works with trust. So it's, you know, as I mentioned just before, it's always up to you if you want to in my opinion, to make this risky trade or not, just if you are holding and but it's crazy. It's without any kind of correction, push up, push up, push up. Well, then it is what it is. And let us go forward. So if we take a look here, once again, you see futures, you see the chart, and you think, huh? Why? Why is futures printing the price? Well, because it's the main driver. That's the only thing. While USD, I mean, look there, 200 millions in just few days. That's in CBD. So buying hard. Everything is buying hard right now. Everything. Also here, 250 millions on Binance. Only BUSD declining. Everything only up. Only up. Binance BUSD down. Everything up. Bitfinex. Look what they did. Look that. Distributed all over. Pushed up, down, pushed up, now down once again. That's, I mean, how can you trust such a market? I really don't get that, but I mean, look that. Bybit. Wow, and Coinbase. Coinbase, oh, that's crazy. Crazy. 5,000 Bitcoins. I mean, they that's so crazy. That's so crazy. Okay, I don't have any comments for that. 5,000 Bitcoins CBD in few days. That's so crazy. Yeah, Bitstamp up, Kraken, okay, nothing doing here, and Gemini up. So we have here of the last few days, we can see every time when we received stable coins, the price pushed up. Afterwards we had bigger outflows, and that's really interesting. So yeah, that's what I said, they are pushing up and someone else is using the opportunity to distribute and to cash out. So if we go here, we can see that, wow, that now the market maker, the guy or the entity that was driving the market, now it's just following. No, I think that's because these guys here declined a lot. Yeah, 40,000. And of course they are receiving 40,000. So if you check these guys here, so they shifted down to here now. Also these guys, look how they declined a lot while retailers pushing up. It's also very hard. But the orange, wow, guys, so they started here to push up and now they declined a lot by 70,000 Bitcoins. That's not that bad, to be honest. However, also here nothing new. So let us go forward. We can check some informations, but it's nothing here. Funds also, it seems, receiving more demand since we break 24,000. So they have 6,000 Bitcoins more on their balance than just before. And here we can see it's futures, pure futures volume, spot much less. It's almost futures. And here nothing happening. So yeah, and well, unchanged. absolutely unchanged. The market activity declining more, and that's really interesting because usually when retail is coming big hard, it should go up like hell, and it's not happening. So something, I don't know really what is happening there. Okay, let us go forward. So on Coinbase, as you can see, protecting everything here, even at 25k and so on and so forth. But that's, I don't know why they are still holding at 25k. They reduced now everything below 15.5, and now just bringing more sell orders to the up, even to 40k. That's what we can see. So at the moment here indicating 31, but also here we had that just before, and then you see they are printing new tether, and that's it. They are absorbing everything. So even exchange walls invalidated. So we can see, we can say option invalidated. We can say weights ratio invalidated. We can say exchange walls invalidated. Everything that worked for years invalidated. How is that possible? How is that possible? Bitstamp. Well, you can see still here 26k, removed here some walls, but nothing big. Binance BTC USDT, also here bringing more sell orders even to 40k and even here to 45. So yeah, also here 32k and so on and so forth. So it seems we are absolutely not done, and no one hope for 60, 70, 80. I don't know, I really don't know. But it's crazy to see that. It's really crazy to see that. Yeah. Here a lot of sell orders to the up and a lot of buy orders. I mean, look that. That's crazy. Still here, the whole concentration, but nothing happened. No big correction happened. So BTC BUSD, Bitfinex BTC USD. Waiting here at 32 as well. Everything else not showing anything. OKEX, nothing. Kraken, nothing. Also 32. So 32 looks right now the next step. BitMEX, nothing. Bybit derivatives, nothing. Again, Bybit derivatives now with Tether, nothing. Binance USDT 32, yeah, almost 32k. Also here 32k. Now with BUSD, nothing. Bitfinex, look that. Oh my god, look that. What the hell? What the hell? Look that. It's wow. Speechless, really speechless. So everything until 29k. Yeah, it's I don't know. I would even say that Bitfinex has the market in his pocket with Coinbase. Maybe they are using together, or I don't know. Crazy, 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 crazy. OKEX futures 27.7, and Deribit. Well, Deribit, you know, until 40 everything, and that's really old. That's really old. but they are not bad at all on Deribit. It seems they can forecast the future. 28, but also here a lot of protections at 29.6 and so on. So doesn't look like they want to unload, just to distribute and to collect some money and then push up once again. That's it from here as well. Well, we can see the FedNet liquidity indicator, and we can see that it pushed up. Bitcoin did it, front-run it. It went down. In that case, not like Bitcoin. At least, well, yeah, I would say also here, Bitcoin was front-running it, then pushed up a little bit, declined a little bit more. I'm still missing this part here. Didn't happen. And then afterwards pushed up. That's what it's doing. Usually it should go down, then more up, or at least go back to 31 or something, and then go down again. But usually Bitcoin is front running it, so I'm missing some bearish moves and not happening, while you can see what happened to the volume. That's only Binance. The volume is just declined almost 90%. Of course, after they stopped to wash trade. So, well, it's, I'm going to try to make a summary. Weights ratio, it's neutral now. I mean, it should have his impact. Nothing happened. I didn't even notice a big sell pressure, to be honest. Futures, the chart is showing futures because it's almost 80% of the whole volume right now. So futures is the market. Of course, so funding rate up, price up. And usually we know that the counterpart was the exchanges to liquidate them, but I think exchanges should have the same interest to push up the price even more, just to attract more retail. With retail, more fees, more money, and everything is fine. Options, well, gamma indicating 32k, gags invalidated. We don't need gags anymore because it's so high and nothing happens, not even a correction after, from 17.8, we didn't had really a big correction after such few last month. That was not the same when we went down. You remember? Every time before we nuked, we went up first. It's not happening. Here it's only up and more up and more up and more up. Of course, a beautiful marketing to attract a lot of people to show, look, we are so strong and crypto is here to stay and Bitcoin is the safe haven and so on and so forth. I need to close here. Okay. So, if we take a look to option trades, extremely bullish, indicating until end of the year we will see a price between 45 and 60k. If we take a look to the market drivers, USD making the run, it seems mainly on Coinbase with US dollar 200 millions in positive CBD just in few days, but also with Tether a lot. While Bitfinex not indicating that their CBD is positive, they are just reacting, so pushing up the price and then immediately afterwards distributing. Exchange walls invalidated. So we had big protection walls to the upside. They absorbed everything. So we have huge protection walls to the downside, and they are placing more and more and more and higher, indicating, well, that's it. It's only up, it seems. Something I don't trust at all. I don't trust the market at all. So to say I would long here or I would short here, I'm not trading. And I have said why I'm not trading. So it's really hard. But yes, I mean, we are now even above of this trend line here. And you remember, I can show you what trend line that is. I need to disable. So we had here once, usually after such a break, usually the price should go up directly to 40k in the short term, and then we need to see if it maintains or have a bigger correction and go down once again, hitting 25k, for example. But it will take, well, it can even go until June, end of June, July or something. But the fact is, we are now above. We even have retested that area. And well, I mean, we know that here, but that's not new. That's happening since a while and nothing has changed. So to say, well, we have a lot of Bitcoins waiting, yeah, it doesn't matter. They print another billion, they absorb everything, and up it goes. So the only thing I can say is trade carefully, really carefully. I would spend this weekend just to try to come back really fit, because I am noticing my stomach once again. And yeah, to enjoy your weekend. That's the best you can do. And check a little bit, don't be focused only on crypto and traditional markets. It's just my suggestion to you. Big love. See you Monday. Bye bye.